Old Hemlock is a way of life, the land and this charming old house. It is reading aloud and listening to music in perfect pitch together, and it is writing. George could be speaking about himself when he writes. Briar lived for grouse and woodcock gunning, but like a civilized shooting man, he viewed sport as within a framework of genteel living. He knew the joy of his possession.
Kay and I are surrounded with the deliberate growth of trees, slow change that is at the same time unchanging, timelessness of a house that has stood for 205 winters and springs and summers and autumns, a stone spring house that has sheltered the flow of mountain spring water for just as long. As those of us who shoot become better shots and better understand handling our dog, our approach to gunning takes on depth and maturity. Going into coverts becomes less a chase with the sole purpose of killing. It remains important to find game, but the gratification, and I keep coming back to that word, is in the beauty of finding it. The essence of the shot is how you shoot the bird, not how many. It is not necessary that you rise up early to get in coverts at first light, forcing an 8-hour day of labor, but that you go there when it is pleasant, a word too many gunners have forgotten. Plodding a given number of miles because someone said he hunted 20 in a day, fat chance, is not the object of gunning. Take it gently, with time to pause and savor the sherry smell of leaves. Linger in those wonderful places at end of day when birds are content to lie to dogs. In mid-October, when leaves are at what the French call haute couleur, grouse sometimes appear in unpredictable places. At this latitude I can't rationalize this as fall dispersal. There aren't enough young grouse to feel crowded. I'm convinced these birds react to the flaming foliage with a kind of delirium much as I do. Autumn is a reliving of life as it is going, and I know an intense pleasure gunning alone with my dogs and Kay, who understands what it means being in those glorious places we go back to each season. Night thoughts before a fire bring strange imaginings. I try to picture a man like me living without Indian summer, without the shooting season, through what would be a succession of gray, drab days from September through December, deprived of the sorcery of hazy afternoons and blue ridges and tea smell of changing leaves, to exist without first gold of sugar maples igniting into flame, no scarlet maples bleeding against a hill, no aspen copses with newly minted species a-tremble in soft winds, no gray dogwood thickets with tiny ivory balls on crimson stems, no wine bouquet of wild grapes exposed by thinning hand-sized leaves to reveal the bounty, no small ticking sounds of slowly falling leaves on quiet air like lemon-yellow seconds counting time that won't come back. There would be no fermentation heady, that damp atavistic hormone odor stirring primordial memory, no pungency of gold aspen carpet on black earth rising to the nostrils to pull me as it pulls the woodcock, no expectation strung to the breaking pitch, walking past a pointing bundle of nerves as sharply tuned as I, both of us near to shaking from the ecstasy. None of those hyphenated smells and agonies and visions making it good in the juices of me, to make me go on living after it has passed, remembering, wanting, starving for it to come again. Facing the end of the year like the end of day, I see Indian summer as an intermezzo, a brief span of heaven like a fantasy of Greek myth, permitting a short return to earth each year from some hinterland of spirits. It is easy to be hypnotized into believing it will last, and then the leaves on the north porch maples suddenly turn gypsy and are gone. The fire on the hearth is burned low like contemplative conversation, and my fingers find Belton's head. I feel him cock an eyebrow toward Quest, who has risen stiffly to stretch his long body into a yawn. There is a time for talk and a time for deep, bone-weary sleep. There will be logs for other fires, shooting for other reminiscences, and there will be Octobers for as long as there are trees and leaves to turn and fall. Bitter as it is to see it go, the Indian summer of a gunner is no less sweet for being short.